Hello, hello. Oh, yay, we're live. Hello, hello. Whew. Gonna give everyone a second to find us as it's going, as our feed goes live on Facebook. Hello, everybody. Ta-da! We are getting ready for today. We're doing our first of 3 installments on the Sizzix seasonal selection kit. Ta-da! So we have lots of fun things going on around the store. We've been doing virtual trade shows. Oh my god, so much new stuff. All the ordering. Whew. It's got so many things. I can't even tell you. We have our New Year's craft weekend this weekend too, so we're super excited to be hosting people in store this weekend as well. So we have lots of things, just lots of things happening. So we are going to do our first of 3 installments, 3 lives. So we're having a little bit of technical difficulties with YouTube. So today we're live on Facebook, but the next time we should be live on both at the same time. So we have January 20th, February 3rd, and February 17th, our 3 presentations, and we're going to be doing just playing with what is in the kit. So this is a picture of everything in the kit, and we're just going to move forward with that. And today we have, we're going to walk through everything in the kit. Today is we're featuring just the colorized dye. So the colorized technology about like layering, we're going to be putting that together and creating this cute card that we have in the embossing folder, and the die is in the kit, and then the die cut word was already pre-die cut and it's in the kit as well for people. So just not in my kit now that I'm looking at my, oh yeah, I do have one. Okay. So, we're super excited about this. It's kind of something new, similar and new. So we have our blossom die, or bloom. Blossoms. This is the blossom die from Tim Holtz. So this whole kit is kind of centered around this. This die is $34.99, but our whole kits, we were excited to work with Sizzix, and this whole kit is $39.99. So you get all the product in here, plus the 3 demo days that we're doing on Facebook and YouTube Live. So super exciting. So you get the blossom die. We still have a couple kits left too, if anyone is interested. You get some acrylic paint. This is limoncello. You're going to get a pot of, so you get the whole tube of paint. You get a pot of pearlescent mediums. So we're going to be playing with these next time on February 3rd. So today we're not focusing on those 2 mediums, I guess. I was looking for a word. You're going to get 1 rose gold and 1 silver metal sheets. So they're aluminum metal sheets, and they're sticky backed. So you can run it through, here they have it featured on the packaging with an embossing folder. You can die cut it. You can heat emboss on it. So we're going to play with that too. Not today, but so we're going to break things apart and play with different pieces. And you get 2 card bases and 2 envelopes with the Sizzix envelope packs in 3 colors. We have it in black, in taupe, and in white. And then these card packs, you get 10 cards and 10 envelopes, and we have a whole bunch of different colors. They are not A2 size, so they are European size to be, 4 1/8 by 5 7/8. But you also get some opulent paper, which we sell a lot of in the store, and the opulent paper is 11.5 by 8. So when you cut the opulent paper in half and in half, you get a base to use for the coordinating envelopes that Sizzix sells. So that's that piece. And then the kit also includes 5 sheets. I'm just pulling them all out. of the Opulent paper packs. So the Opulent paper packs are color palettes. So you'll see here, this is the, I want to say charcoal color palette. And it comes with, I'm missing a sheet. This one. Yes, woohoo. So you're gonna get one of each of the 5 sheets, and they come in color palettes, so you can have 10 sheets of each, so you get 50 sheets total. I was just trying to see if I have more than one color around. So it comes like this. You get 10 of each sheet that's in here, and they're kind of sampled like that for you. Or you can see the little samples of each texture in here. And they come in charcoal, in gold, rose gold, ivory, and then some seasonal packs. So there was a mystical opulent one that had cool like rose gold glitter and holographic paper. And there's a muted tone, so it has like greens and like a muted green and a muted pink and a muted navy, which is super pretty. So we're gonna be featuring this too as well. So day 1 of our kit is going to be just kind of prepping and cutting and learning how to assemble the blossom die. Hello, Margaret. How are you? Hello. It's been so long. I feel like I've been a prisoner to my computer for 2 weeks on virtual trade shows. Isn't that crazy? So we're going to, oh, and there's an embossing folder. Oh my God. Where did I put it? Your kit also includes one embossing folder. Oh, here it is. One Sizzix embossing folder, and I think it's called Craft. And we're going to be using this today too. Hello, 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 Renee. Okay, so this is what we're going to be making today using the Sizzix layering dies. And so you will need adhesive if you're going to craft along, or you can watch and then do it after if you have a kit. So we're going to be using the blossom die. This Hello die cut is already in there, and I used 3 different color inks, so you can use whatever colors you want, but I used a light, so anything pigment based for this kind of background here that we did behind the flower. Hello, hello. I know, I feel like I've been so crazy. Oh my God, it's been busy. I know, and today you'll see sneak peeks start today with Maker Mania. Haha. That's my project right after this. So you'll need some sort of pigment based ink for the background, because I'm going to work on the black card, which you don't have to, but that's what I chose to use today. So I used Tattered Rose just to give it a little bit of lightness. You can use a white, you could use ice spruce or whatever, but I did use ice spruce as well, the oxide, because it's a little bit of a lighter tone than the distress. I know, I'm so excited. Tomorrow's crop too. And then I use a little bit of shaded lilac in the distress, not the pigment, because what I love about this Opulent paper pack is it almost kind of has like a purpley tone to it. And I don't know if you guys can see that. So I paired it with that purple there, and it looks like super cute. I'm not sure if it 100% shows up on camera, but then you can see that I did use, what did we use? A bunch of different layers of the Opulent paper here to get that kind of blossom. And then I know it's not a very bright color or a very bright color palette, but sometimes, you just want to send a card to your friend that's having like a bad day, and you don't want it to be like super cheery and bright. And this is what I was feeling when I was making this. I'm like, I wanted to have a hello, but I didn't want it to be bright and cheery and all that. So, oh my God, 72. How exciting, Margaret. Oh my God. Oh, hopefully I make it to 72. Okay, so you can see my reflection. Woo-hoo. So what we're going to do first is that we don't really waste paper. I'm going to take my Opulent paper, and I'm going to cut everything just straight in half. So it's going to be a little bit crazy, so bear with me as I move my tools back and forth. All between balancing things. Okay, so we're just going to take each of the opulent paper sheets and cut it the long ways in half, so that way we're not wasting anything. So I'm just gonna take it and just start cutting. What am I doing? So this is 11 and a half. So we're gonna cut it right in half at 5 3/4. So we're gonna do that to each of the sheets, and then I'll kind of have 2 halves. So 5 3/4 to each of the 5 sheets. Well, I'm gonna make 2 piles actually. So don't mind me, because we're gonna make another cut on each of them too. But first we're just doing 5 3/4. Just cut it straight in half. Each of the 5 sheets. Oh, the muted. See the pink and the navy. It's such a good set, that muted opulent paper pack. 5 3/4. Now I have 2 sets, 5 3/4. The one set I'm going to put back in my cute little, what do I call it? Bag, envelope, zipper pouch. This thing to keep it safe. And then the other set, I'm just going to cut them straight in half again. So I'm going to go in on the long side, so the 8-inch side, we're just going to cut it straight in half at 4 inches. So we're just going to do that to each one again, and we're going to, again, make little piles. 2 piles for that too. That way I'm not going to lose anything. Oh, 4 inches, 4 inches, 4 inches. Okay, and then that one pile I'm going to go and put with my other big pile. And now I have my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 pieces that are 1/4 of the opulent paper sheet. So that all ready. Now, like I was saying before, so the card kits and bases that Sizzix sells are sized for, what is it, metric? So we're imperial, so it's sized for metric, but that doesn't stop us from using them anyways. Sometimes I don't make A2 cards, sometimes I make cards that are smaller, sometimes I make cards that are bigger. It's just whatever tickles my fancy, but I do love the color palettes, and so they do have like muted paper packs that match the opulent packs and stuff. So plus I just want it to be easy. And so inside there's 10 card bases and 10 envelopes. And so we cut our opulent paper in half and in half, and it will fit the front panel of the cards and envelopes, and it'll give you a really, really thin kind of edge border. I don't know if you see that. So if you cut it in half and in half, so you get that 1/4 of that opulent sheet, it does give you a little border all the way around on that card base, and then you can use and make whatever you want. I chose not to do a matted background to this, just because I didn't want it to be too much of something, but I didn't want to leave it black either. So what I did, this is really crazy. So what I did is I used the embossing folder that is in the, what do we call it, in our kit. So we're going to grab this embossing folder, and I just rubbed some ink on here and then rub my paper over it, just to give it a little bit of kind of texture, something for your eye to focus on that's not that flower. And this is completely optional. You don't have to do it. You don't like the dot kind of background look, don't do it. You can use any other, you can try it with any other embossing folder you have too in your stash. But this is why also I chose a pigment ink, so it show up on the black. So anything that has a little pigment in it. So you'll see like this. I use a side that has kind of the raised pieces to it. And that's all I did was raise, so not the pokey side. So this is the embossing folder that's in that selection kit. So I don't use the pokey side. I have the kind of the raised smooth side, if that makes any sense. And I put it down. And then I'm just going to, I'm not running it through my machine because I don't have to, but I'm just going to rub, 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 and then I pull it back. Whoop, and I have just like a fun pattern and something that I didn't have to use a stencil. It's just easy to clean. I'm just going to wipe it off with a wet wipe. You can use any, and really you can use any embossing folder that you have that has, let's see, I was playing with this one today. So here we have the Numbered by Tim Holtz. And you can do the same thing where you can just grab parts of it to just create a little bit of a texture without kind of raising it up. So here, just trying to find a scrap. I have a scrap piece of navy paper, so I can show you that same kind of technique there. So I'm just going to take my oxide pad, because the oxides have that pigment ink in there a little. And then I'm just going to take this, oh, let's do this side. And I'm just going to rub. So I don't expect, I'm not going to expect something like perfect. You could close the folder too. Oh, I want to move it, hopefully. You could close the folder and rub too, just with your hands. You could also run it through the embossing machine. I just chose not to, but it'll just give you like a cute little kind of watermark. The numbers are a little bit backwards here because I used the side where the numbers are backwards, but that didn't bother me, or that doesn't bother me if it does, you know, and then you can build on top of it. So that's how I just made a little bit of texture without having to run it through the machine. And if you guys are like me, I have a lot of embossing folders. Just another way to use that tool that we have in our stash. So, so we did that. Then, the next part is doing the colorized flower. Now, I love colorize, and you have two options. While you're die cutting, you could adhesive back some of the layers if you like. So if you don't like using liquid glue to glue things together, you can do that. Otherwise, you can just use it, die cut it normal, and then use your glue. So I work kind of all over the place. I'm not gonna lie. I don't have like one set. I am sort of a lazy crafter, so most of the time I will put adhesive on the back, but especially if there's something like super detailed. So like if you look inside the blossom there's this little glitter piece here. That glitter piece, I'm gonna put adhesive on the back because I don't want to have to deal with putting glue on all those little details. You can see here too that a little bit is lifting up on my flower because I didn't put adhesive on the back when I was die cutting. But if I had, it would be down. The problem is that when you put adhesive backing down, you don't have that, that wiggle room as you do with liquid glue to kind of readjust with the colorize. So that's the only thing. Today, I'm going to use it. I'm going to do liquid glue. God help us. Haha. So here we go. I also you'll need some craft foam. So I did pop the flower up. Oop, now I'm peeling it off. I popped the flower up and I glued this little stem piece down. So if you don't want to put the stem, you don't have to. The stem is flat and then the flower is popped up a little and the hello is flat. So just to give it a little bit of dimension, but not too much. So, let's get started. So in the colorized dies, so this is the blossom. We're going to, just gonna pull this out to the side. I'm gonna grab this piece of paper, and I'm gonna lay it all out so you guys can see. And you can see that I didn't even pokey out all my stuff last time I used it. So this is, dare I say, an easier set. Oh, I'm missing a die. Oh, there it is. It's still in here. Okay, so your die set should have, how many does it say? 7 dies. So we have the outside base of our, oh, is there? Oh, no, that's just the text box. Sorry. So it has the outside base of the flower. It has a second layer of the flower. And then it has that front kind of detail piece of the flower. And then you have 2 pieces for the leaf. And then you have 2 pieces for that center. Oops. For that center piece of that flower there. Okay, so you should have 7 dies, 3 for the flower, or 3 for the flower shape, 2 for the middle, and then 2 for the stems in your die pack. If you don't, I hope you do. If you don't, let us know, and we will get it straightened out with Sizzix for you. So the next part is we're going to use our pieces that we have here that we pre-cut to die cut all the pieces we need for the flower. So you can use the same order I did, or you can choose to do a different order. But if you're looking at it like this, my base of my flower is this darker. There are kits still available. Yes, you can, Sherry. I think Sandy's working today, so I will let her know. Or you can order, they're on the website. If you go to Browse Store and Events, I believe they're there under Sizzix Seasonal Selection. But I will definitely let the girls know too. So what we're going to do for the base of the flower is, if you're looking at these, we have kind of 2 glossy ones, one that's kind of a soft matte finish, a glittery, and then one that is a little bit thinner than the rest and is kind of pearlescent-y. We're going to start with that one. So that one's going to be the base of our flower. So I'm going to take my die and I'm going to put it on the edge. And of course, I am not a pro at this, so, or not a pro, what am I talking about? I am not good at only, what do you call it? Only using, I tape it all down, that's what I'm trying to say. Oh my God, I didn't even have words for myself. So this is what I like to do is I'll take my kind of cutting plates, I'll tape down my flower there. If you look at my station, you'll see like down in this corner, I have scraps. I was making a birthday tag earlier, and I have my washi strip stuff just here. I have it on my camera stand. I have some on my laptop. I save it, I reuse it until it's dead. So just a little piece to keep it in its place. I also used this piece for the base of my leaf. Oh my God, there we go. And then, oh, where are we going? I just kind of, since I was tucking the leaf behind the flower, I didn't care about getting this stem part die cut perfectly. So I'm just gonna line this up like that and save some paper and then put a little piece of tape down. And then kind of put it to the side. So I have my little cutting plate there. Okay, so that's layer 1. Layer 2, we're gonna find, wait, what did we do? Yes, this brushed metal, not brushed, okay. So the 4 pieces we have left, we have that one that has that matte finish. That's what we're gonna grab for layer 2. So it has a matte, thank you, Melissa. Well, we were so excited to work with Sizzix to put this kit together. And they passed on a deal to us and we passed it on to our customers because why not? Because we love you guys. We wouldn't be here without you. So we have, and you get to learn and touch so much product. That's the best part. I'm super excited for you guys to all play with everything we have in here. So we're going to tape down that second layer. So you're going to grab this one here, not the one that has like the tiny details. So grab that one there. And then I also did the details of the stem with that too. So this is if you look at the stem, this is the way it goes up and down like this. So I'm going to make sure that if I need to push anything off, which I don't because it's smaller, I'm I need to push out some of this so that it die cuts good. Okay. Now I will say when you die cut, run it through twice though. Oh, I have a little piece there. Because the opulent paper does have a little bit of backing on it. So you want to die cut it, run it through the machine twice, like a front and a back, or forward and backwards, whatever, so that it can go all the way through. Or you could use a chrome precision plate if you want. I tend to just go bloop, bloop, and I'm using the, I have a switch right here on the corner, so you see me just kind of, because I can die cut everything at once. I'm going to fill up my whole plate here. Ooh, party hat pieces. And then die cut all my pieces at once. It'll be like a jigsaw puzzle maybe. Okay, and then we have this piece here that we're going to do in, you would think that I would have had my little dies cleaned, but that would be no fun if I was perfect, haha. Okay, so then we're gonna take, did I miss a layer? Oh, I did, sorry. So this backing too, haha. Go back to this layer here where we have our leaf detail and our second layer. We're also going to cut that base of that center out of this matte piece here. So I just tape that one down too. There, like that. So we have 3 pieces on this panel. I also like to pre-cut my panels sometimes when I'm working on something like this, so that way I know that it fits on my card, because it's the size of my card base. So, not that that really matters, but that's, you know, my tip. A tip from me to you. And then we're going to take this right here, and there is, so we have 3 panels left. We have one that is a brushed finish. So if you look at it, it looks like it has like streaks running across it. I don't know if there's a good way to show that on camera. So it looks like it has streaks running, and one is kind of more smooth. So we're gonna take the one with the streaks. It's a little bit glossy, and we're gonna put this piece here, there, like that. Now, I'm not putting anything else on this piece, so I'm gonna save this piece here. I'm just going to take a pair of scissors and cut it off, because I can use it as an accent piece or put a sentiment behind it or something. There's my scissors. So I'm just going to cut that piece off and just save it, because it's just what I do. And then this little tiny piece here is going to go on the glitter. And I'm going to take that there like that. And I'm just going to cut out that square. It's not going to be like the prettiest, but I'm going to cut it out. And then put it all on my die cutting plate like this. You'll see I'm going to have a little kind of mashup. Just need to fit it all on here. Okay, and I'm going to run it through my machine, not once, twice. So I'm going to put it all the way through and then pull it back, or run it through a second time, whatever is easiest for you. So you're going to hear my switch machine be a little loud. Because you'll see that there is kind of like a backing to these specialty papers, so you want to make sure that it cuts all the way through. No, I didn't catch my machine in time, so it's just going to go through a second time. And one of the reasons why I cut off that little strip is my plates aren't new, so if I had wanted to cut the strip off after, it would have left an impression. My die cutting plates would have left an impression on the that extra piece, and then I wouldn't like the look of that, so I wouldn't use it. So it would have just been a little bit wasteful. So, yay. So now we're just going to take our pieces, and you should have all your pieces. You can pull them out of your die with, if you have a craft peg. I'm at my house, so I don't have my cool glitter rainbow one. I left that at my desk at the store. I have this old tool that I use to weed for my with my silhouette when I do stuff for the kids' school and stuff. I'm gonna pull out these little pieces here. Okay. And then while you're pulling out, so you'll see that this piece has a fun, it has a pattern. It doesn't really have anything. Oh, you're welcome. So I'm catching up on comments. Oh my God. You're welcome, Melissa. So it'll have the pattern. This one we're going to line up the pattern with the other piece. And this one too. So you'll see, I'm trying to go slow so that if you are doing it in real time, you have enough time to do it with me. But I'm not going to lie, I would delay like 5-10 minutes because we know Nina does some no-nos sometimes. Well, or 5-10 seconds, not minutes. I'll make my little die pile over here. Actually, I shouldn't make a pile. I should just throw it back in here while I'm thinking about it. Boop, 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 boop. Some trash. And I'll pull out my next layer. And before you pull it out, you can see in the back, like if you turn it around, you can see if it's die cut all the way through or not. Sometimes I do that so that I don't like waste my time trying to peel it off when I know it won't, you know, I don't want to get frustrated. So, save my purple tape. Pull that up. And then also, if you want, you can save this, actually save this piece. Shouldn't say if you want. Save this piece and save this piece because we're going to use it with our paint, and we're going to use it again. So don't throw these pieces out. Hopefully you didn't throw them out yet. So don't throw any of these scraps away because our next class or our next session on the 3rd, it's not like a, say like a part, well, it kind of is a part 2. It's a continuation of like playing with these products, but, oh, where did my, oh, it's here, da, 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 da. Okay, so there's my leaf. But save these because you can use them as stencils for your next project. So we're going to create a cute little shadow effect. So don't throw those away. Put them in your little zipper pouch for next time. Ta-da! Okay, so we have our pieces, and then you'll see that this colorized piece here, it cuts it out. There is a little bit of like an inside guide. I don't know if you can see that perfectly on the camera. So if you look at that, that is just part of the die. Huh. We're gonna have to find, you're gonna have to find how it lines up. Okay, so we have this like double, so I did this like perfect, oh, here we go. Nope, here. This is the piece I look for. We have this piece here that's stuck together with that little open line, and that goes right here. So we're gonna line that up, and you're gonna glue that down. So it creates, you have that base pattern, and then you're just building like layer, layer, layer up. I didn't poke out all my stuff, so I'm gonna poke all my stuff out. And I don't know if you guys want me doing this start to finish on a live. I don't know if that's preferable, so drop a note in the comments if you like that, because I was like, oh, I was struggling with, should I have it all pre-cut? But I feel like part of it is doing it with you guys on the live to show you how to use it. Tips and tricks. Okay, so I'm gonna find my little, where was it again? Right here, this double. Get this double kind of lined up again, and then I'm just gonna put liquid glue on the back and glue it together. Ta-da! So I have my little point, my eye point that I'm gonna look for. Now, ironically, I ran out of liquid glue in my house. So funny. Last night, and I found this teeny tiny little bottle that I have as a backup. This is the Nouveau Deluxe Adhesive. I usually, I go between a whole bunch of things. So, but I use like the Lawn Fawn, I use the Hero Arts, I use the Avery L, I use Collage Medium. I mean, I do have Collage Medium. It's probably like within iShot too, but I don't like, I love Collage Medium, and but for paper projects, it doesn't set fast enough for me, and I'm impatient. So, yeah. So I'm just gonna add just a little bit of glue to all of this. I missed a pokey piece, so while the liquid glue is on there, I'm gonna try and poke that piece out. Ta-da. Find my anchor point right there. So I have my little bloop bloop together, and I'm going to bloop bloop together it on the flower. And you do have, if you're using liquid glue, you have a couple seconds to kind of line it all up perfectly. Ta-da! Okay, good. Da-da-da. So now I have this. And what I love about, so the fun part about using like these opulent paper packs is everything, I mean, the color tones match, right? Like it's all kind of pre-thought out for you. And I've always been staring at this charcoal pack, and I'm like, I'm gonna use it. And I never have, but I really am digging it a lot because it's charcoal. When you think like black or like dark gray, and it's gray, but it's like, it has that like warm purple tone to it, like a, I don't know, like some of the Olos, like a warm, is it a warm gray? I'm not sure which one. Anyways, so that's layer one. Then we're going to take, oh, I didn't take it out of my die. I'll put this die. I have, now we have that detail piece is the last one, so we're going to pop it out of the die if you didn't already. Ta-da! And be careful because this one has its details. It has some like dainty little strip pieces to this. So while you're pulling it out, be careful so you don't rip it out. Okay. So make sure I have all my little detail pieces out. And now this layer is shiny. Ooh, so fun. So we're going to put liquid glue on the back of this one too. Now this one's a little bit harder because I had that anchor point before here that I was using. Well, this one is a little bit harder to find the anchor point on the outside. You're going to have to find like any anchor point, if that makes sense. And our any anchor point for me, I'm pretty sure, did I do it right? Let me see. I think. Let me see. Nope, wait. I thought it was that one. Nope. Okay, it's this one. Okay, so what I did is I found, you'll see you have these really long kind of grooves that go in. So there's one long groove that goes in and has two skinny pieces next to it. So if you look at this kind of area right here, it's a long in groove, and you'll see I looked at like a long groove here, but it didn't have the double. This one right here has a long groove, and then to the left has kind of two petal pieces, and it's going to go here where there's a long groove indented, and then 2 kind of pieces right next to each other. So that is that's my anchor point while I'm working. And then the rest will line up as you kind of go around. So again, my original anchor point where I had that little bloop bloop together is at the top. My new anchor point is going to be to the bottom left. It's this long line here, which is this long line here with 2 little accent pieces sticking out here. And that's going to be where I anchor that. Boop, boop, boop. I don't know if there's a better way to do that, but that is how I do it. And because actually this isn't a color eyes specifically, it's just like a color layering. When you do the color eyes, they have like, it's a lot more metal, so those tend to be more expensive, and they have imprints of where to like put things. But this one, it's not so many color layering pieces. So we're going to put some glue, liquid glue on the back of this. This one's going to take a little longer to put kind of glue in sections. And I will say with this one, try and be careful, because that bottom layer that we have, that is kind of that matte finish. The glue, if you get too much glue on it, it will kind of show. Should just be a little bit mindful of that. And you'll see, like, for these little dainty edge pieces. Now, if you have art glitter glue or Barely Art or something with a fine tip, definitely use that for this project. You'll see I go in and I kind of touch the edges, but I like touching some of the bigger globby pieces that I have. And then I'm gonna turn it around, find my anchor point, long line, bloop bloop, put my anchor there, long line, oh, where's my long line, bloop bloop, and you'll see that I just put that one part down first, and I have some of it in the air, so I can line it up slowly and gently as I move all the way around the flower. Ta-da! I know that it barely is enough. I'm so thankful I found this in here. I was like, oh my God, I didn't have time to run to the store either, like, and get some glue. I know where I can get glue. I just didn't have time to run over there. Isn't that funny? So that's kind of the base of our flowers. So that is, that part is done. So we're going to put that to the side. And then we're going to do the same thing with just the accent piece to the leaf. So we're just going to put some liquid glue on the back. Here, the anchor point is just, it's not like a huge, this one's a little bit easier to line up. Nope, I lied. Haha, what's wrong with my leaf? I think my leaf cut weird. Well, you're just gonna line up like that stem with the curve there, like that. Oh, it did cut weird. I think it jumped. Oh, I just looked at the plate and I have all these extra little pieces. I think this die jumped. Okay, but that's okay. I'm still gonna glue it down and follow the shape, and it's just to give it a little bit of texture there. Ugh, chase my glue. Ta-da. And we're just going to line that up there like that. And set that to the side, and then grab our little innies. I lied when I said earlier I was going to add adhesive back to this. Should have. But now that it's still on, it's still on this panel. So I'm going to try and just, I'm not going to lie, I'm just going to try and put, I've never tried this before. Well, it's still stuck in there. I just added a bunch of glue. And we're going to see if that works. Da-da. It could be fail. No, it's totally working. Ta-da! And we just have to line up our cute little anchor points. So I have three circles on the bottom and one at the top. I have one at the top and 3 along the bottom. And I'm just going to line that up. There, like that. And that, oh, got a little glue smudge. It's okay. If you're not a paper crafter, you wouldn't even notice it. And then I have that inside of my innie of my flower. And you can just glue it down to the center. I don't know if there's a specific way. It looks like there might be. Oh, the 3 circles line up on the image. Here I didn't do that. I just glued it down. I'm not sure if it makes a difference. But maybe you can. You can do it whichever way you want. So we're just going to add some glue to the back of that. And then put it in the middle. So now I've assembled my cute little blossom, my flower. I'm not sure, is it supposed to be a sunflower or something? I don't know. But now I'm also, while I wait for some people to catch up if they're doing it live, I'm going to poke this out since I put glue all over the back of that. I don't want it stuck in my die. Stay along for a wild ride. Haha. We make bad choices around here, but sometimes it works out. Ta-da! There's no glue on there, and that's all set. I'm going to put it in there. Grab my leaf die, make sure I have all. I started doing like gel dip, and now I can't like pick things up like I used to. Ay. Okay. So that is, those are our cute little, that's our base, our flower. We have our little kind of texture, you know, not like a crazy pattern, but it just added a little bit something. I'm not going to glue this down yet because I want to line up my hello the way I want it. So I just make sure it fits on my card panel like that. And then you should have in your kit, I die cut a bunch of words. I die cut 2 words. So there's a hello. This is a Pink Fresh Everyday Sentiment. So it has the hello, and then it has the background, the shadow piece. And then we have a love from Hero Arts. And then you'll also have one random sentiment set from Pink Fresh as well. It had all of these in here. So you get 42 pieces for $5.99, and everyone got a random one to use in their kit. So we'll have that like that. Today we're going to work with the hello. So you'll need to pull out the word hello and the little, what do we call it? The shadow, the overlay, outerlay, I don't know, the lay part, the piece. Okay, and then you'll need a blending brush. And this is where I used ice spruce, because haha, somebody was like, you're not using ice spruce anymore. And I was like, you're right. So I used ice spruce, which is kind of like a gray-green undertone. And then because this kind of has like a purple tone to it, I wanted to incorporate that a little bit. So I grabbed some shaded lilac. I didn't want it to be like dark, dark purple. I didn't want it to be too light, like milled lavender. So I grabbed shaded lilac. There's sort of a method to my madness. Not really, but it's sort of there. Okay. So I'm going to put this to the side for right now because we're going to work with this base. This base, ironically, is not just ice spruce. So one of the reasons why I love ice spruce is it looks good with a lot of colors on its own. I'm not gonna lie. And oh look, so if it didn't cut all the way through, push it out and then pull it from behind because no one's gonna see the back. That's what I always do. It's a little weaker there, so just remember that. But so I'm going to use the ice spruce oxide, and I'm going to do the whole hello with ice spruce oxide first. I'm going to use that as a base because I don't want it to just be ice spruce because that doesn't match my color palette, but I know I wanted to use the shaded lilac to be kind of like a light purple that's a little subdued, but I wanted ice spruce to also have like a purple hue to it. So I'm going to do a base of ice spruce and then, oh, good job. That's funny, Renee. I know that helicopter was really loud. So I'm going to use the base of ice spruce and then put some shaded lilac on top of it to give ice spruce kind of that purple hue that it doesn't have. So we're going to do that. So I'm going to kind of move this. So you'll see, like, it's not just ice spruce in that background. And I'll show you. How will I show you? Oh, we're just going to do this. So here's my swatch. So this is just ice spruce. And then just take your, I mean, you can do whatever color you want. If you don't want to do this, if you want to leave it white, you can. There's no judgment here. I'm doing what I found inspiring. And then if you find that inspiring, you do too. If not, like, use a color that makes you happy. Do what makes you happy. So I just did ice spruce all the way down. I want it to be not super wet, so either you can patiently wait for it to dry, or you can just heat it a little bit with, if you have one of those, oh, poop, I just dropped something. Those low-key heat guns, or if you have one that has the high and low, just put it on low and just zap it a little. Just to kind of get it to be a little less dry because I don't want it to be too wet because then it's just gonna smear. So then I'm gonna take, it doesn't matter if you use a foam brush or a bristle brush. I always use a foam brush for my pigment inks because it's really hard to get the pigment ink out of the bristle brushes. And then this is just my purple one. So I dubbed it my purple brush. So I'm just gonna grab that. Some purple ink, and I'm just going to go over that whole thing again with just some what do you call it, shaded lilac. So now actually I wonder if you can tell. Ooh, you can tell a little bit. So you can see here, over here is where my brush is like this. This is just plain ice spruce. So you can see that ice, we're just adding a little bit of like a purple hue to it. So it's still ice spruce at heart, but then it has that second, just a little bit of tint of purple to kind of go with what we're making. Because you can see here, when you're seeing it up against that, like, this is too harsh of a gray, in my opinion, when I was doing it. So I felt that this was too harsh, so I just kind of added a little bit of the lilac, shaded lilac. And even just here, I felt like it was too bright. So then it's a little more subdued there like that. So you can see, even here, you can see kind of the difference with the ice spruce and then the shaded lilac on top. And you can do this with a lot of colors. If you just want to, take a color and mute it down a little bit, it doesn't have to be ice spruce. You can add like a brown tone to it. Like, that's kind of my favorite part about playing with the distress inks, or just inks in general, really. Because somebody asked me I mean, obviously I have my favorite, you know, when I scrapbook and stuff, I do buy scrapbook paper, but sometimes I don't because I just want it to be the exact color that I want, and I end up just making my own kind of patterns with stencils and this and that. So I do a lot of that. Wait. Okay, although I also haven't actually scrapbooked in a really long time. I made a layout during the show following their instructions, and I was like, oh, I remember this. Okay, so we did our hello, and then our hello background. You'll need your hello. This one's dainty, so what I do is, one of the things I do, and I have a die cut word. Generally, I mean, in a perfect world, I would have inked the paper for everybody first and then die cut, but I didn't want to force people to use a certain color. So what I'm going to do is I'm just taking the tape off. So what I do is I use some tape. I'm going to do it on my glass mat though, because the tape will stick better on the glass mat. So I'm just going to take a little bit of my washi tape that just kind of lives here, put it on the glass mat, put my word down so that it's stuck to there. I do the same thing when I cut critters out, if I'm like dye coloring or whatever. Yeah, Copic coloring. But I'm just going to tape down my word and ink it straight over the tape. And you can make it as dark or as light as you want. You could do a little ombre effect if you wanted, but I wasn't patient enough, so I didn't do that. And I'm just going to make it as evenly inked as I can. And then pull this off and glue it to my sentiment, take my tape off and put it back on my workspace. Add some glue to this guy. Okay, too much. I swear this little bottle like just wants. Do. Just trying to make my life difficult. There we go. And then we have it, hello, all nice and cute. So now you can, I thought it was cute here in the corner. You could put your flower how you want it. You can glue down your leaf. So I wanted my sentiment to be flat, so I'm grabbing this again. So I'll put my sentiment kind of in the corner here. First, I know it's not the way most people build their cards, but I'm not most people. I'm gonna make my little leaf flat. Oh, no. Well, hopefully it'll just, I'll put my leaf like this, just kind of hovering above it. That should dry clear, but ta-da. And then I'm just going to put a little foam tape on the back of the floral and get it taped down there. Oh, good, it wasn't my coffee. Like that. Boom, boom, boom. And then just plop it down however you want. This way, zigzag. I'm not sure if it matters. I'm just going to plop it down before I overthink it. And then I have that beautiful, cute little bloom. Ta-da! A little bit of texture, not too much in the background. I really wanted like the flower to be kind of that main focal point there. So, yay! So that is our day 1 of 3 with our Sizzix seasonal selection kit. Oh, I was coloring on that. Haha. So we have that there like that. And then, so our next session will be February 3rd, again at 12 p.m. Pacific on our Friday Live. And we'll be playing with the pearlescent medium and the paint next time. So I hope everyone has a happy Friday, happy weekend. I will see some of you this weekend at the New Year's crop, and I will talk to everyone next week. Bye!